stories that link, like it's important that I share mine in a place where it's always gonna be there, to help others. So I won't have to always vocalize, but yet the story will be there to help others and also outlive me, because then when it's in a book, then it can outlive me. It will still be there for my children and my children's children. And so and so that means more and more women can be helped. So it was really just inspired by my love to see women arise to the best version of themselves. And the different events, some not so pleasant, that happened in my life and that many women could relate to, and also could actually just find a voice and language for their own trauma, that they can then in turn kind of like navigate their way around healing. So that's basically what inspired me writing the memoir.
Yeah, I hear you, Sia, and I think it's so important for women, especially to be wounded and to get the help that they need or the healing that they need, from their wounds and their brokenness, because we truly do live in a world that will challenge us, and it all depends on how you rise from those challenges. And I suppose that's why you named your media organization, Damsel in Distress Arise. You definitely
Yes.
have that heart for, the broken, that, you believe that they can. Um, and being down doesn't have to be your final story. There's more to your life.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So, Sia, tell us a little bit about Damsel in Distress Arise, your media organization, and just the work that you've done with gospel artists and also gospel events.
All right. So it's actually Damsel Arise. So it's basically an organization first, where it's a movement that helps women arise to the best version of themselves through just charity assistance,
Mm,
through talks, through meetings, and just various ways. So when I started my company, it was Oluchi Media. And then upon realizing that my work and my ministry basically get to a place where they intertwine, I
mm,
then decided to just also register a company that is Damsel Arise.
mm,
So we have Damsel Arise, the movement, and then we have Damsel Arise, which is my media company,
mm,
where I do all this work, which has been known mostly for the PR work, because it's very out there. Because then with that, I was working with prominent people, so
mm,
then it makes that part of my company out there. But we also do a lot of other media work,
mm.
like journalism work, because
Yeah.
I'm a journalist by profession. So we still do, editorials, we still do
Mm,
editing, we still help people write their books, we still
mm,
help people edit their script, and we create content for TV.
mm,
Um, and yeah, we do produce some content for some TV stations and all of that. So all services that are basically media related, that is what we provide
mm.
under Damsel Arise Media.
Okay.
And then
So,
under Damsel Arise Movement, that is where we have the gatherings where we basically meet with women from time to time, just to speak into each other's lives and obviously help each other arise.
absolutely. And heal. What does healing look like, Sia, to someone that has been downtrodden, that does feel as if, I cannot anymore? Or maybe someone that doesn't know what that space of healing looks like. What is it to you?
Okay, for me, I would say healing looks like you basically taking that step, having that desire to heal and taking that step to do what needs to be done in order for you to heal. So that means, if it means you first confronting those wounds. But the minute you say, oh, I'm wounded, because a lot of time either people don't know that they are wounded, or they are in denial of the fact that they are wounded, because they found solace in that space of their wounds, where maybe they get attention from that space, where maybe they found identity in that space, such that they don't know themselves outside of that space. So the minute you can have something that triggers that part of you that says, you know what, I am wounded and I do need to heal. Maybe I should get Sia's book. Maybe I should see a therapist. Maybe I should go to church. So the minute you take that step, then that's what healing looks like. Because then once you take that step, then healing is guaranteed. Because it may not be linear. It may not be that you're going to wake up tomorrow no longer feeling that pain, no longer feeling that unforgiveness. But the minute you take that decision that, you know what, I want to forgive that person. Yes, I still feel that pain. Yes, it still hurts when I think about it. But once you take that decision and you do the necessary steps to follow through with that process, then to me that's healing, because healing is never really a destination. So no matter how much healing has occurred inside of you, there's always going to be triggers, for instance, memories that take you back there. But you'll find that the response is not the same as when you were as broken. But you find that the response may be such that you realize that, oh, okay, if I still get triggered and maybe respond in this way, that means there's still a part of me that still needs to do a bit more work. But it's never really a destination, but a journey that sometimes you take 2 steps forward and 10 steps back, then you are healing.
Yeah, definitely. I love that you say that you never arrive really, but it's a process and it's a consistent one that one needs to take, and it all begins with knowing and understanding and being aware of the fact that you do need the healing and taking the action steps. So Sia, you do a lot, and it is really something that you should celebrate and pat yourself on the back. But I'm more interested in how you are able to manage all the roles that you fulfill, being a mom, being a businesswoman, being an author, being a journalist, being a woman that has a movement. How do you ensure that you fulfill each role and you give 100% of who Sia is?
To be honest, it's never really 100%. you know it's all about you showing up in each role and giving it your best,
Mm,
and understanding that sometimes your best may not be enough in that moment,
sure. That's
because
so
you need to
good.
go and give because you need to go and give your best somewhere else.
Sure.
So usually when people ask these questions, they'll say, how do you balance? So there's
Mm,
never really a balance,
mm,
because sometimes I have to show up at church more because they
mm.
need me more. Sometimes I have to show up more for my children. Like recently, my daughter was hospitalized for 2 weeks. I had
Sure.
to focus on that, cancel speaking arrangements that were
Mm,
going to give me money. That was painful, but
mm,
unfortunately I was now needed in this space to give it 100% and be in hospital every day. And so it's a matter of just showing up where you
sure.
are
That's
needed
so
more
awesome.
in that
Mm,
moment, and just learning to get over the guilt. And one of the things that I've learned recently is that to just get over the guilt of wanting to do too much,
mm,
where you feel like, if I don't do all these things at once, then I'm failing, to be able to
mm.
scale down and be like, okay, what do I need to be doing now,
Sure.
in
Yeah.
order for me at least to be able to give my best and get the desired results? Because sometimes you feel that it so happens that when you want to be everywhere at once,
Mm,
like you want to fulfill all these roles at once, like be the best mom, show up, and serve properly at church and your business, wear all these hats at once in your business, then you end up mastering none and you are depleted, you're
mm.
frustrated, frustrated, so it's only a matter of learning to be at peace with showing up within each role as it is needed, and then giving that your best. So if this week I'm needed more in this area of my business and I can't really show up at church, I'm not able to go to the midweek service, be okay with that and not feel guilty. If I can't show up for my kids the way I would love to, be okay with that and not feel guilty. So it's never really a balance. It's just being at peace with showing up where you are needed, and giving that part in that moment 100%. That way it minimizes the guilt, because if you think that you have to balance, then that's where you're going to get frustrated and depleted, and be anxious, constantly anxious, because you feel like you are failing.
Mm. Hmm. I think that's lifted a heavy um, burden on a lot of women's shoulders, because so often I think women feel the pressure because precisely because of what you've just said now, because they want to show up 100% for each and every role. But like you're saying, that it can never be that way, but it's about being okay with the fact that in one role I didn't show up as 100%. Wow.
Mhm.
Thanks, Sia.
Mhm.
Um, Now, looking at your entrepreneurship journey itself, how
Mhm.
have you handled the lows?
Mm, I cannot even tell you how. It's one of those things that it sounds so cliche when you say, what, it's literally grace. There's been
Mm,
seasons that I literally don't know. I can't tell you
mm,
how I came out of that season. I'll make an example.
mm,
The past 3 years, I've just been trying to recuperate.
because of
It's only
COVID.
now that I
Mm,
feel a bit of relief, like I've just moved into a new place, and
mm,
I can even think clearly. And I actually suffered a lot because of this issue that we've just spoken about, because I was doing PR work.
mm,
That was the core business.
mm,
That's way, like, I was making my money. And so now lockdown comes, no big gatherings, we can't do anything.
sure.
And we're sitting at home, sucking our thumbs and cooking and eating.
Mm,
And now we come out of it the other side. And remember, when you come out of it, it's not just going to be like back to normal. And
mm,
now also, even you coming out of it, you've learned certain lessons where, like, if I can go on without work for this long because big gatherings were prohibited, it means that there's some a balancing that needs to happen in my business,
mm,
in terms of just the other areas of my business that I had neglected, to try and focus on that. So I had to make a decision now to let the PR work take the back seat and focus now on growing the other aspects of my business. Now, that was a painful decision, because it
mm,
meant that I could literally now go back, get artists, and get quick money, but still that would still compromise the other areas, because I have to give it 100%. So once I take these clients, I have to give it 100%. So now it's going to compromise the other areas of my business. So in order for me now to be able to um grow these other parts of my business, I need to make this compromise.
mm,
It was tough. It was tough, where you now wonder if you even made the right decision. And now you find some clients that are still begging you, like, oh, please, I really need to work with you. And you're thinking, hey, I need the money, Mara. If I start with this, I won't do this. And
mm,
and so it was just something that I just had to chin up and just do, and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this. Because also, when it comes to business,
mm,
or maybe even anything in life, it's like when you are employed and you know that you should be starting your own business.
mm,
Um, you That employment becomes a place of now holding you back,
mm,
because there's something else that you are supposed to be doing. And this is obviously not for everyone. I'm not the kind of person who believes that everyone should be an entrepreneur. I'm certainly not that person. But
Mm.
I'm saying when you know that I should be starting my business, and now you are saying I'm gonna hold on to this job, and then chances are you are never gonna do it because you have to be at work and you have to give your work 100.
Mm.
So when are you going to have time then to still service your clients and give it 100? So then it causes a certain delay because now you have to show up in that space and give very little. So if it was going to take you a year, now it takes you 3 years because you are still holding on to this other thing. And for
Yeah.
me, that's what had happened. I had already seen it happen, and I feel like lockdown was here to just be a wake-up call to say, you see, had you done those
Mm.
things then, you would at least not be compromised in this way. So to come back from lockdown and now be starting new things, it was tough. It was tough. And I won't lie and say I had this strategy. I was just taking each day as it comes. I was just, allowing the grace of God to carry me. I was in a space where I literally, and I mean literally, saw God as a provider.
Mm.
Because I always say what I learned in that season is it's very easy to say God provides, God is my provider.
Mm.
When you
Mm.
know that you have a salary,
Yeah.
when you know that you have an invoice that you are looking at,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
God is going to provide
Mm.
with that invoice,
Mm.
but you have not known God as a provider until you are not
Sure.
looking at anything
Mm.
where it
Mm.
could just be a friend who comes and says, I'm Ganiazi, I thought of you, and then they drop off that
Mm.
veggies combo or that combo yama, what's this thing? Yeah, your school lunch, the one that has Polonies and Viennas and this and that.
Mm.
And now you know that it can only be God because we are just praying and saying, God, I don't know.
Mm.
I really don't know how we're gonna do this.
Mm.
Where you literally know that it can only be God. And like you have manna for each day,
Mm.
tomorrow you don't know what next month is going to look like. You don't have something solid that you can say, okay, this is what I have, this is what I know, that okay, this is where my provision comes from. No, there's nothing. It's just you and God's grace. So that's why I'm saying that I can literally just say it's only been God's grace that
Mm.
carried me.
Mm. Sure. Very inspirational, and I think very encouraging as well to some people that, like you, are saying that, oh, it's only now that I'm getting out of, just the I suppose the pain
Mm.
of losing everything
Very
during the
beautiful.
time of COVID, and only now maybe my business is picking up and my life is starting to settle again. Um,
Yeah, the one thing that I can say, to be honest, that I learned in that season is to
yeah.
take each day as it comes. And I know that also sounds cliche. And I
Mm,
remember there were times when I was going through
sure.
so much that you like, I think this is gonna kill me. Like
Mm.
literally, there are nights where you have to stay awake just to watch over your soul. You're like,
Mm.
right now I feel like I'm gonna breathe my last. And I remember thinking that I'm just gonna hold on to see tomorrow. I'm just gonna hold on to see December. I just wanna
Mm.
see December 2023. I just
Mm.
wanna see if I make it to December 2023,
Mm.
then I know that there's something beyond, the other side for me.
Yeah.
And I know when you are in that moment, it doesn't feel like it. And I
Mm.
always say, just hold on to see the next day. Be like, I would be like, you know what? If the devil wants to kill me, he's gonna have to come and uproot me from this house, do something physical,
Yeah. Yeah.
do something because I'm not gonna give in.
Yeah.
I also experienced my own health challenges and this and that, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep fighting each day. So it's a matter of holding on. It
Mm.
really does get better, guys. It really does get better. It's a matter of holding on for another day and another
Mm.
day and another day, and before you know it, you know God just reveals himself, in his
Mm.
own time, where now you can only do so much. You
Mm.
do when now your part, the part that you need to do, in terms of just, recuperating your business or starting your business, because
Mm,
it's not easy even to start, and you see what you were used to this salary and now there's nothing or whatever.
mm,
Just to keep pushing and seeing another day, and also just allowing yourself, you know uh, destiny helpers, because one of the things that I struggled with, because I'm a person who helps a lot, but I
mm,
struggle with receiving help. And
yeah.
I feel like that's pride. That's another thing that we struggle with. And because it sounds humble, that mina angifuni ukusokolisa abantu, I
Mm,
don't like being a
mm.
burden.
On
But
other
in
people,
reality,
but
it's
it's actually
just
pride.
pride. It's
Mm,
actually pride. So just allowing yourself help, because there
mm,
will always be help. Help will always be available. When you need to ask for it, ask for it. But even when you do not ask for it, there are people that will just come through for you and help, because God will
mm,
always make sure that He takes care of you. And in taking care of you, He's the one who's going to make sure that He sends those destiny helpers. You don't even have to go looking for them.
sure. That's so how can I say, it's I love the way you put it, that, not being able to also help. I know many people, that would say that, no, I don't know how to ask because I've never had, or I've never had to ask. And I love that you're saying that, especially as a child of God, that if you cannot accept help from other people, then brother, sister, you need some time with Jesus.
Exactly.
um,
Because it means you enjoy when being Jesus, and
yes,
being
yeah. We are
divine, that
not
is always
Jesus.
helping, and
Exactly.
people are hating you, like saying thank you to you, thank you to you, thank you to you. It boosts your ego. It also
Mm,
changes how you help as well.
so
You start
true.
interrogating yourself when you
Mm.
help, when you've been in that
Like,
position.
why am
What
I
God has
helping? Is it
felt,
because, I want to be seen
exactly.
as
Like
someone
this
that has?
validation.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yes.
See, yeah. You touching very important issues here. Now, being a mom, what is it that you enjoy most about mothering two daughters?
Oh my God, is there anything I enjoy?
Ah, the authentic
Is
Sia
there
has spoken.
anything? Is there anything I enjoy? When you live with teenagers, there's very little to enjoy, because like suddenly you're not cool anymore. Because I just always used to enjoy having kids, just having
Yes.
kids, having my kids, just loving them, loving on them, playing with them. And now I'm not cool anymore. Now I'm not cool anymore.
You're
But
not their
to be honest,
bestie.
I just I know, like, I'm just, everything is like, that's embarrassing.
Oh
Everything,
my.
I'm just an embarrassment. So, and I never thought that that would be me, because that's also how I used to feel about my mother. Like, why are you embarrassing me? Like, everything was just embarrassing. So now it's me. Um, but quite honestly, I just, enjoy spending time with my kids. Just the relationship that I have with my kids.
Mm.
I sometimes look at it and be like, I never thought that I could be such a great parent.
Wow.
And I used to think that my kids and I are the only ones that see it, until, I've had a number of people just admiring the relationship that I have with my children. So we still go for checkups with my daughter in the hospital where she was admitted.
Mm,
And
mm,
every time we're there, like without fail, either the doctor that attends to us, and it's always the same doctor,
mm.
or the people. So it's like, most when you just gave birth to a bestie, like you just found
Oh,
yourself a bestie, and that's because of how we relate
yeah.
with my youngest daughter, like just
Mm,
how we speak openly about anything. And you find that people marvel at the fact that, oh, maybe I wouldn't talk to my child about that, or your child knows this, or
mm,
your child knows that.
mm.
And it's like it shocks them. And I just enjoy having that relationship, because I feel like it's what I desired. I didn't get
Yeah.
that from my mother. And she was
Mm.
an amazing mom, but she was just not woke enough to think that a parent can have that a parent can have that relationship with
Yeah.
their kids. And so we just have that open relationship where it is a friendship. They still don't understand who's boss. if
Ah,
if they need to be
yes.
reminded, I quickly remind them, Uguti,
Put them
who's the mother.
online.
Yeah, but I have a relationship that allows my children space to be
Mm,
themselves, where if they don't like something, they're allowed to tell me. If they're
yes.
unhappy, if they're sad, if they're mad, if they're angry, I don't say like, how can you, whatever, like be angry,
Mm,
but be respectful. They
yeah.
know that, like,
So
yo,
awesome.
mama, no, I don't want to do that. This is why I don't want to do.
Mm,
No, I don't like what you did. This, because the world out there is cruel. So if now they learn from home that um, they can be silenced, if their voices get silenced at home, then how are they going to show up in the world out there, the
yeah.
world that is clear, the world that needs a woman who's going to stand up for herself
Come
and
on.
give a bold no,
Come on.
because people are not clear on what no is.
Mm,
And she needs to learn it from me. I need to first respect her no,
come on.
so that she knows
Mm,
that an adult should respect your no.
sure.
So once we teach our children that things like, you can't say no to an adult, or
Mm,
you can't tell an
mm,
adult, you have to always respect adults. No, I tell them that respect is earned. You
yes.
respect a person that ends that
Mm,
acts in a manner that you know
is
um
worthy to be
um
respected.
is worthy of your respect. But if they show up in a way that you are not happy with, boldly tell them that I do not like that.
Mm,
It's a no. Don't touch me there. Don't do this. So I could not afford, based on my own experiences, I could not afford to raise my children in a way that does not respect them as human beings. The first thing that I'm conscious of is that they are human beings before they are my children. So
yeah.
they deserve that respect, they deserve that honor, and they deserve that platform to be human, where they have to be able to express their feelings, and
Mm,
and that makes our relationship a bliss. So now we
indeed.
don't have struggles. And of course, because they are kids, I mean, they're still going to be naughty.
Yeah.
And there's going to be, those times where I have to remind them that, no, this is not okay. But
Reprimand.
even with that, even with that, in a way that doesn't make them question my love for them.
Yes.
So I think that's the part I enjoy the most about my parenting, just being able to right the wrongs, and seeing these gracious, beautiful, respectful humans that I'm raising. Like I really marvel at just how kind my kids are, and how respectful. I'm always proud of them, even when they are like amongst other kids, or when we are with other families or other adults. I'm like, I'm proud of my kids. Like, they really represent me well. I don't get embarrassed and be like, I didn't teach you that and whatnot. And of course, like I said, they're still kids, they're still gonna be naughty.
Yeah.
I don't expect them now to suddenly be perfect human beings, but I just like that I raised kind and gracious members of society,
So
because
awesome.
I was always aware of the fact that I'm raising someone who's going to exist in society. They're not going to only exist in this house.
Yeah, yeah, that's so awesome. Sia, in short, because of Amaklesha, how do you? Hey, that's one thing that stands out about you to me, is the fact that you
Mm.
are super authentic. Like, how do you ensure that you are authentic? Like, you come to any space as yourself. Where does that come from?
You know what? I think that comes with, first, how you are raised,
Mm.
comes with how you are raised. And I think that's why I raise my children the way that I do. I was just saying yesterday that my mother was actually a feminist, even without knowing it.
Knowing it,
You know, in
yeah.
how she respected boundaries, and how she,
Mm,
how she respected consent, and how she respected our decisions, and just in many ways how she stood up to situations as a
mm,
single parent, as as an independent woman, how she encouraged independence, how she never pressured me about marriage. When my mother's
Mm.
never asked me about when are you getting married and all
So
of that. She was
awesome.
just
Yeah.
pushing me to be independent, this, that. So I would say a part of it, it's how you are raised, and a part of it, I think you are just born with,
Mm.
and then a part of it has to do with how life deals with you. You
Mm.
know, when life deals with you in such a way that you realize that actually I have nothing to lose. I've got nothing to lose. I've got Jesus and he will always have my back. And for me, as long as I'm right with God, that's what matters. This thing
Mm.
of scared of people, what are people gonna think, and shy
Yeah.
away from my
Yeah.
own truth that I know that God backs me up in,
Mm.
then
So
you
awesome.
like so life teaches you because there'll be times in your life, or there's been times in your life when you did so perfectly, like you were doing everything well. I'll make an example. Let's say you were this amazing youth leader, godly woman. You are 20, you are leading the youth, you're doing all these amazing things, and then you get pregnant, and then people stone you like nobody's
Oh my
business.
word.
So then you learn that people don't have your back.
Yeah.
People only like you for what you have to give.
Yeah.
So it best be my truth,
Yeah.
so that at least I know that these people like me for
For
real, because
me.
I thought that you liked me. I thought that you liked me, and one mistake, you are stoning me to death. So it's
Yeah.
best that I show up as the best version of myself, in my authenticity, in my truth,
Mm.
so that if you like me, at least I know you like me for real, because you know me for who I really am.
I love that. Sia, where can the listeners get through to you if they're interested in purchasing your memoir, Wounded for Purpose, or interested in being your client?
Okay, so the best place is to just across social media. You find me at Mtolo across social media, and then you can drop me an inbox. I do check my message request. I feel like that's the easiest. Instead of maybe trying to give you my email address, it's best that you just get with me, and then I talk to you personally, and then I help you with whatever you need, whether it's my book or my services. Then I can give you the email addresses, the phone numbers, and then we can chat further. But I am Siam Dolo across all socials.
Siabulela, thank you so so much. In isiXhosa, of course, you know what we say, tinga ntangadini tinga. So continue
So
to thrive and to grow in your business and in the space that in all the spaces that you find yourself in, as a mom, as a businesswoman, as a woman of God. Just continue to serve God's people. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
thank you. It was my pleasure.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Excuse me for the voice. Bye. Wow, family, there you have it. Usia Mtolo, that's who we've been speaking to. She is the founder of Damsel Arise Media. She has her own media organization. She's also an author. She is also a mom, amongst other things. But please look out for her and maybe reach out to her if you need her services. On social media, Sia Mtolo, and pop her a DM and have a further conversation. Thank you so much, family. It's time for me to say goodbye and so long on my end and on Sia's end as well. Thank you and God bless you.
I'm gonna take all my troubles away. I'm gonna join the Christian